This is so sad that no one's ever going to see our beautiful ideas come to fruition.
Someone might.
We just have to write them.
Yeah.
We need to do something original. We need to reboot originality. Because that's what's coming next. And TV series already do it. There's rarely any TV series that are really good that are just rehashes. They're original.
Well, they're always based on a book.
Yeah, but...
There's a lot of good stuff being made that has been based on a book.
Yeah.
So, do you call that an original idea where it's transferred from a medium to a different medium?
It's more original than just
remaking something in the same medium.
That's happened in the same decade? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But it doesn't always work. Did you see Good Omens?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it.
See, I did like it.
I liked it after for the first 2 episodes I liked it, and then it did a Neil Gaiman and just fizzle at the end. I think he's the most overrated fucking writer in the world. Me personally.
So
Neil Gaiman.
So
American Gods. This one.
I read American Gods off the back of watching the first season of American Gods. I was like, hey, this is pretty cool.
What'd you think?
I read the book. And
I can't remember the ending. I can't remember the second half of the book at all.
Well, you know the twist?
That he's Thor.
Well, he's the son of
Odin. Yeah.
And Odin and Loki are just playing a trick on everyone.
Yeah, because Loki was his prison cellmate.
Yeah. And so what it is they're just trying to get all the guys to fight in Odin's name. And so everyone that dies is like feels his power.
Yeah.
So it's just a trick.
Yeah.
They're just trying to fool everyone.
Yeah.
And that's what the crux of the story is in the end. And yeah, you're right. It
wasn't clear to me, or I didn't feel a punch in reading that. I wasn't like, oh wow. It was just like, oh,
so
okay.
And I've only read that and Good Omens. I just finished reading Good Omens.
Did it end the same way as the series?
It's almost verbatim.
Exactly.
Line by line.
Exactly.
Because it's not that long of a book.
Yeah.
And it's only a
and
story
I think Neil Gaiman wrote the series. So he's literally just copy and pasted his fucking dialogue from the book and just cut shit out. I reckon it was like that. I read the opening page and it was exactly the same as the opening scene of the fucking TV.
Yeah.
Like word for word.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm like, it works to a point, but it wasn't, for me, it wasn't sustainable. It just became too on the nose and too, look how wordy and literature I am. And it had a fucking shit ending. Like, those 2 characters just end up standing on a fucking tarmac watching other characters do stuff. And this big Satan kid, which had this big climax, and these 3 other kids, that is like death, pollution.
So you didn't
it was just like wipe. This big build up to these fucking 4 characters who don't do anything. So Neil Gaiman can't finish shit. He's just fucking stale, I reckon. He's so overrated. Anyway,
I guess I haven't read enough of him to comment. But
I've read a lot of all of it. I heard the and they're going to do this. The Sandman graphic novels they're making into a series now.
Because I
haven't read that. And apparently that's amazing.
Apparently it is. It's like everyone's like, when's Sandman going to get made? I don't know. I was watching some interview with Neil Gaiman and he said, it's not that I don't want to make it. It's just he stopped a lot of bad Sandman projects getting up. Is what his words were. Like, or maybe
he would just copy and paste again.
Maybe I don't know.
And the thing is, can you remember the fucking film that he was involved with? With the fantasy fucking film with Robert De Niro in it.
Wasn't that
Stardust?
Stardust, yeah.
Like, do you remember that film?
Yeah, I do.
Do you remember anything about it?
Yeah, Robert De Niro like wearing dresses.
That's it. I can't. I remember seeing it in the cinema. I think we actually went and saw it.
I know.
With Pixie and that. I remember us sitting in the cinema and watching it, and I'm just like, what is this? This is not bad. It's not good. It's just really average. I can't remember. I think what's her name was the villain? Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer was the villain in that, and she was.
But I don't remember her motivation. I don't remember the hero. I don't remember any of it. It's Neil Gaiman. Anyway, that's my rant about Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, the rant. I'll just let him pass through the keeper.
But the thing is, we're talking about originality.
Is something gonna be original?
and in cinema, is there going to be a new wave of original films that people start to get behind?
They are occurring, but then just not in the mainstream cinema.
But that's the thing, when mainstream, it's like pop songs and
cinema now is
and grunge. Like grunge was popular music at some point, and I reckon there will be a point where we'll just get fatigued with all of this IP reboot. That when a new IP comes along and it's successful, it'll probably breed new IP from that. But it's got to be like the Breaking Bad series was original, not an adaptation, no fucking anything. It was just a good original
an
storyline.
Idea of a science teacher going bad and making the best meth ever.
And they've made a spin-off series which is also very high quality. So there's, like these are the things that generate interest. There's something that's just done well. But it's not. Doesn't have to have a sister story somewhere, or a mother's story, or father's story, or a related story.
Right, so Joss Whedon's created 2 original IPs. You'd say Buffy was original.
Was it?
So
or was it based off the film?
He did the film.
He didn't do the original film,
did he?
No.
I thought he wrote it. I thought he was involved in the film. All right, Buffy the Vampire. Shit. Alright. Checking.
I have a feeling he just made the series based on the idea of the
It's not
film.
the series, I want the film. I'm sure he was involved. Let's have a look.
Maybe it was a comic book that he wrote at the start, which they made into a film, and then... No, film. Give me the film.
Written by Joss Whedon. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. See? He didn't direct or produce it, but he wrote it.
Props.
So and Firefly.
And Firefly, yeah,
so
okay.
He's tried. He was...
That was a successful TV series. They weren't films, though.
Firefly got made into one film. And the TV series got cut. So that's what happens to original reality.
Well, that's back then.
But...
We're talking before
Firefly
reboots.
Was good. People liked it, but they didn't like it at the right time, unfortunately.
But you know what? You know what? If someone actually thought, look, if JJ said, let's give it another try, it'll be fucking huge, man.
Just because of everyone, the producers love JJ.
Oh, it'll happen. You watch. They'll go back.
Well,
to
no,
world.
they'll have an idea of a space western, and they'll give it to JJ, and he'll ruin it.
JJ doing
the space western, which is what Firefly. Yeah,
JJ Abrams doing Firefly,
a clone of that theme.
Well, he's got his chance. He's got Star Wars.
He can do whatever he wants.
It's kind of like a Firefly type.
That's right.
But yeah, you're right. He what's his name again?
Joss.
No, the guy who did Buffy.
Joss Whedon.
Joss. JJ Joss. Fuck.
But then he got his chance. He did Avengers 1.
Yeah.
And picked up from, was it one of the DC ones? After someone got the sack or something.
Yeah, that was a salvage mission.
Yeah. So I mean, but I don't know if he enjoys doing that. Maybe I think he likes having a bit more creative control. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing now.
Names in Hollywood like J.J. Abrams, Joss Whedon. I'd put Jon Favreau with that mix. Taika Waititi now I'll put in that mix.
Although he still gets a bit of leeway.
I'm just thinking of the names in Hollywood which are really they're like the MVPs in a basketball team or something, or like you got basketball teams and you got the best players in the teams and stuff.
Yeah,
they're the names that always kind of get put to projects because of who they are and what they've done.
Yeah, please direct this project.
Yeah, who else is there?
Hide guns there.
Ryan Johnson was trying to be one, but he's fucked up. He'll never be one now.
Isn't he given something else there?
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to last. He's become the Star Wars version of Zack Snyder.
So, and I, after watching Dark Phoenix, which wasn't great at all, I went back sort of through the X-Men. It's like, and I was like, I saw how successful some of them actually were, like the first couple.
Well, there was another name attached to that. That's another name that's floated off the radar because of reasons. What was his name? who did the X-Men films, and then went off to do Superman, which failed, and then came back to X-Men and fucked everything up again.
Yeah, when they came back was the problem, and then it was
what
good.
was the filmmaker? He did The Usual Suspects.
I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I'm gonna have to. He
was the one who he's got into a bit of trouble for little boys.
Oh.
Yeah, come on.
You mean not the
director of the Usual Suspects? Type it in.
Why can't we remember names today? Bryan Singer.
Yeah, Bryan Singer.
Yeah,
he was a name that was floating around on these big projects for a while. X-Men related usually.
Because I was like, that's right. I was looking at the success of, shit. No, the one before Apocalypse, X-Men Apocalypse, the Days of Future Past. So that was like successful. If you know you liked it or not, it was successful. And then until Deadpool 1 came along, which was then the most successful and on like a quarter of the budget.
Mm.
And I was just like, how did they go from doing a pretty Days of the Future Past was good, and then Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix was just like this off the cliff?
I think because they were trying to match it with Marvel with epicness.
Maybe.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, Marvel's doing, like, we've got to up our game with the X-Files. We've got all this great storyline and characters for IP, but we've got to make it out like, X-File versions. And you know what? They fucked up because they got like a creative team together that weren't really working well together. Some were doing good, like the guy who directed First Class, who did Kick-Ass, and was also involved with Snatch and Lock, Stock.
Yeah, okay.
What's his name? And he's a great writer and filmmaker, and that was a great film. That rebooted things, and then Bryan Singer came back and fucked everything up after actually establishing it really well. So it was just a melting, a mismatch of shit.
How can we fix Hollywood? And
if Hollywood is still cinema films and not series, they're going to make films that are more like TV series, an hour-and-a-half experiences that tell a story that doesn't stand on its own. That's the way they're trying. That's what they're trying. Well, I don't know if that's fixing Hollywood. I honestly think fixing Hollywood is to go the original route again.
Being able to make a film that just stands on its merits and you can go, it's done. But maybe...
But people want more of things, not less of things.
Is it?
And if Hollywood is still going to be the big market studio film thing, blockbusters, then they've let the cat out of the bag.
So maybe if you don't have all the extra going, marketing, or the toy, all the extra money that you can make off a film when it's a series, they don't see it as profitable. Why spend money making something that'll only make $100 million on a standalone film when we can make something that'll make $1 billion in toys and fucking T-shirts and all that kind of stuff?
If it's about merchandise and
that's where the real money of the movie is made.
I know. Well, if it's always going to be about that, then there was always going to be this sense of breeding films. But what if they went the other route to fix Hollywood? What if they think, let's make cheap fucking good movies, and then the success is really built upon the fact that they were so cheap, like
Deadpool was cheap.
And you get your money back, and it becomes popular, and it's good. So just go back to the basics.
So making
the epic things.
What's cheap would be like $50 million films.
No, de-epic them. Like, you can't. How much more epic can you go of Thanos? We're talking about the existence of the entire fucking universe. You can't go beyond that. Unless they go multiverse. But then it's just like, oh, come on. The whole multiverse is at risk now.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking... They've done it. Why go that way again? Go back to grassroots and make cheaper, good films, less epic, and they make their money back. Anyway, maybe that's how we can fix Hollywood, Luke.
Yeah, we'll just have to make a
cheap, good film.
Well, I got like $15.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know if I can.
We've got a camera.
I have to ask Mel if I'm allowed to spend it though.
We've got a camera. Oh, God. All right, man.
I think we'll just wrap it up there.
I reckon.
I think we've talked long enough.
What do we got? An hour and 23 minutes.
Yeah. that's some epic.
All right, guys. Adios.
Catches. Thanks for listening.